Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. We're focusing on this shocking incident, but let's get across to the Commissioner of Police in Lagos, Mr. Fatai Owoseni, who joins us online today. Good morning and thank you for joining us. Well,
good morning, Chamberlain.
Yes, indeed. Is there any new information that you've got about what transpired?
For now, apart from the rescue operation with a view to recovering that body that we've been focusing on, not much information. As we mentioned earlier, the police marine team and police from Adele were among the first set of responders in that place. I went there personally, and immediately thereafter, I met the mother of the doctor and the pastor. We have the telephone as well, also trying to get what he could have been discussing or what he could have passed on messages before that unfortunate incident. But we are still focusing attention. We are relying also on the natural belief that at least after about 48 hours, such body that is not been able to rescue will float. And we've been involved with the other emergency agencies in that operation.
Okay, now there are different stories that made the rounds concerning what happened before he eventually plunged into the water. You have the driver in custody. Did he corroborate what people said, that initially he received a phone call, or he got down to ease himself and then plunged into the water?
Lots of things have been said, and people can speculate and say so many things. As I said, the divisional police officer in Adele was among the first set of people that got there, and I personally met the driver almost immediately after that incident, and that is in the presence of the mother, the pastor, and I had interaction with the driver. His account is what we still hold strongly. He left the house. They were praying at home with the mother, with the pastor, and he just left the house. The mother even thought that he was with a baba or something like that. And when they got to that point, from the account of the driver, he told the driver to park, that he wanted to pee. And at that point, the driver also said, "Oh, it's my master," so I wouldn't have said no, because we asked him, "Why would you stop at that particular point?" He said, "Oh," he just said, "Stop, stop, stop," and he believed that he was pressed. And immediately thereafter, they were both in front of the car. But immediately he opened the door, he just saw him climbing that rail and jumped in. He even said that, so for him to say, let him come out to see whether he could pick him or not, it was too late. And that was the only person that was with him in the car. Every other story I've read that people said he left a suicide note in the car or whatever. All those things are lies. I personally saw the car. The divisional police officer, Adele, took possession of that car immediately, and we searched the car. There's nothing like left a suicide note in the car or whatever speculative things that people have been talking about.
Were you able to substantiate or corroborate the claims of his driver? Are you investigating the driver more?
With, as I said, I personally, because when incident happened like that, talking to the eyewitness, looking at the countenance, we've done that. I personally handled that almost immediately. And we are still looking at other things. That is why there's technology. That is why we have the phone. I've personally interacted with the mother as to what could have happened before then. I've also interacted with the former driver that he was using, who made a call. The former driver that the family was using, who made that call to the mother. We are looking at so many things, but because the mother is still in agony, the mother may know so much about him. The driver, the former driver, also knows so much about him. But it's not when they are in trauma and they're agonizing like this that you want to throw certain questions. It's from the mother and from the two drivers. He was a quiet person. We asked whether, even while they were in the car, he was interacting with the driver, and the driver said no. He was just a person that once he enters the car, he doesn't talk to anyone. Even the former driver that the family had used for too long. Oh, yes, they said he was a lone ranger. He wasn't the type that converse and expressive. That even when they interact with him, God, bring your bag or whatever, he just wanted to keep to himself. And I think the family knows so much about him, especially the mother, and probably some of the church members, the pastor. But as we move on, questions will be asked. You know, we're in a society that even when people suffer depression, they don't say it out. That is number one. Even when close family members know, there are things that they don't say out because of one stigma or the other. So these are things that we look at, and it is a gradual process. You probably need to allow some healings to be done before maybe a family member. But I know that from my interaction is very, very close to the mother. We are in a climb that people will even tell you that, oh, black men don't suffer depression.